program, Financial Focus, brought to you by the best of the best in financial services, 9 straight years and running, as named by the readers of the Lake City Reporter. With more than 31 years serving North Central Florida savers and investors and formulating that financially focused written plan to achieve your financial and retirement goals, ladies and gentlemen, John Kuykendall, founder and CEO, here with us, as always, the president of GulfCoast Financial Services, providing insight and guidance in your planning efforts and progress. And John, we always appreciate it. Today, we want to talk about the 5 critical areas that every plan must address.
Well, that's right, Peter. There are 5 things that we really need to have in a plan to really know where we're going. We have to have that plan in order to be the roadmap as we travel along the way to retirement. And then after retirement, we still need that roadmap, Peter. We can't stop just because we're retired. It's probably more important, or just as important, after we retire, that we keep that retirement plan, income plan updated, and we know where we're headed until our final days. Tom Heglia says there are 3 stages of retirement: the go-go years, the slow go, and the no-go. And I really believe that. I mean, the more I thought about it and thought about my clients and talked to them, thought about my dad, and the people that I know that are old, that's true. And so we're going to spend a lot more money in the first years and less money in the final years, but we need to plan for that. And a lot of people don't realize that, and they don't plan for it.
Yep. Well, we've got to look out to the future, and a lot of us as individuals, John, we may see it only once, or maybe through our family as they retire, and then as we try to do it ourselves. But you, as a financial and retirement professional advisor, you've seen it time and time and time again. You've really seen what works and what doesn't, and you've identified these 5 critical areas that every plan must address. So let's run through them 1 through 5. John, number 1 is income. We really need to specifically plan out the income for retirement.
Well, that's right, Peter. I mean, so many people make their plan on their assets, and it's an asset-based plan, thinking that I'm going to return this on my money, but we know through the sequence of return that doesn't work. And so income planning is very critical, that I know that I've got a predictable, sustainable income. One of the reasons that we're so comfortable while we're working is we know that every week or every 2 weeks we're going to get paid, and we're going to have a check in our checking account, and we're going to be able to buy things. And in retirement, it's the same thing. You have to have income in order to continue to that plan and to feel the financial freedom that you really want in retirement, because you're not going to be able to work, or you don't want to work. And so that income planning that we do is the way that we pay ourselves during retirement. And we're going to do a holistic approach to that. Peter, we're looking at taxes, Social Security, Medicare. We're looking at assets. We're looking at how we're allocated. We're looking at how I can get predictable, sustainable income every month, every year, as long as I'm retired, and also take into care medical and long-term care.
Well, after we have addressed the income need in retirement and formulated the specific plan to generate dependable income, then, John, we do look at the investments. Critical area number 2.
Yeah, the investments are important. You notice we had income first because we really feel that's the most important thing. But in order to get the income, we got to have the investment, and we have to be allocated properly. What's your risk factor? I like to say your risk factor is what allows you to sleep at night, not worrying about the stock market, not worrying about if you're losing money. And so we want to make sure you're allocated properly based upon your risk, and allocated properly based upon the market and what the market's doing. We never try to time the market, but we at the same time, we don't want to follow the market down to a low and then have to make up twice as much to get back to where we were before it went down.
Yep. And part of retirement is going to be dealing with taxes. So number 3 of these 5 critical areas, tax planning, John.
Taxes is a bigger thing than I ever thought it would be in retirement, Peter. The government indexes everything based on income. So the more money we make, the more we have to pay in taxes, the more we have to pay in Medicare, and the more of our Social Security is taxed. And also our Part B Medicare goes up based on income. So taxes play a big part. How much of our money we're going to give back to the government? We want to give what we're supposed to give, but we don't want to give any more. And so there are tax planning things that we can do. The way that we give our money to charity certainly is the first thing that comes to my mind. In retirement, a lot of people now with the current tax laws don't have to itemize anymore because of the large standard deduction. So we're not able to take advantage of that charitable contribution. But if we do it properly, Peter, we can get not tax credit, but we can have it not count for income. And that's really important because the less income I have, the less taxes I'm going to make. But I'm still giving money to the charities that I want to support. Things like that we tweak. We really work that out through our tax planning. And we really want the customer to understand how they can save money in taxes.
Critical area number 4, healthcare planning. Why do we need to maybe pay extra special time and attention to planning for healthcare and healthcare expenses, John?
Well, first of all, Medicare is not free. I thought that when I retired, my medical insurance was actually going to go down. It really hasn't. It cost me about the same thing. I have really good insurance, though. And so I'm really happy to have Medicare, but we have to plan for it. We get one option when we first get it sick, when we first go on Medicare, whatever the age that is. If you're under an employer plan, as long as it's a qualified employer plan, that doesn't have to be at age 65. It can be at 67, 68, 70. But I only get one time to pick my plan. After that, I am subject to insurability if I want to switch to a better plan or a smaller plan. So, we have to be careful what we do. If we've got medical problems going into Medicare, we want to make sure that we get the best possible insurance for us that we can get. Medicare is a wonderful thing, but it's not free. And so we have to understand the cost. The other thing, Peter, is that Medicare does not cover long-term care. And 70% of us over the age of 65 are going to need some kind of long-term care, some kind of care for longer than a year, but we won't be in there. We'll be less than 3 probably, according to statistics. So, we need to have that covered. We don't want our plan wrecked because of it. If a spouse dies, we're going to lose one Social Security check. A lot of people don't understand that. I'm going to be able to take the highest, but my income's going to go down about 40%. How am I going to cover that? And that's what we cover when we talk about our process. We look at all those things. And the last thing, Peter, that we really want to look at, and a lot of people, they just skim over this. I'm totally amazed, is legacy planning and how am I going to leave my assets to my heirs?
Well, I had a question about that, John, because it's the 5th critical area on your list. But if it's not a notion or a desire to put high priority on leaving a great amount of wealth behind, is legacy planning still a critical area in my total plan?
Well, yeah, because the legacy planning is we're looking at the beneficiaries and how that money is going to go to them. Do they understand that under the Secure Act, if it's a non-spouse or certain qualified beneficiaries, they're going to have to take it out over 10 years. And so if they're already in a high tax bracket, they can end up in a higher tax bracket. There are a lot of things we have to look at for legacy planning. But the main thing is, do I have a will? Do I have a plan on how I'm going to pass my assets? Is my beneficiary on my IRA, is that my former wife who I don't have now? And, did I make the changes to the beneficiary? We're going to review all that and make sure. I remember the story about the lady that came in here and we were reviewing their life insurance policies, and the beneficiary on one life insurance policy was some guy I'd never heard of. And I asked her in front of her husband, I said, who is this? And she said, oh my gosh, that's my ex-husband. And so if she died, he would inherit the life insurance policy.
Don't want that.
Yeah, I thought the husband was going to go crazy really quick, but we made the changes. But those are the things that people procrastinate on because they don't think about legacy planning. They don't think about passing it on. Americans think we're going to live forever. Unfortunately, we're not. It'd be nice, but we have to look at all these areas of planning to make sure everything does what it's supposed to do in a timely manner and causes the least problems for the next generation getting the money.
Well, 5 critical areas in your planning, ladies and gentlemen: income, investments, taxes, healthcare, and legacy. And each one of those is important with many, many subcategories and topics. And so, John, I've got 5 what I intend to be quick questions here, one for each of the topics. So number 1, what exactly is Social Security optimization and how does it benefit my overall financial plan?
Well, what's going to happen is Social Security is like a lifetime pension. People don't realize this. That's the one thing that we're going to get that's going to be for a lifetime. The government's going to give it to us, and we want to make sure that we do the best job. So what we have to do is we have a program that shows us if I wait till 70, how much is my plan going to be? If I take it at full retirement age, if I take it early. And so you can look at that and see where the break even is. Sometimes we're leaving money on the table because suppose I've got a spouse who's drawing Social Security and he or she is full retirement age. I'm eligible for a spousal on them, and I can let mine continue to grow till 70, and then I can draw mine and get the full amount. Those little caveats will give us extra money, but make sure that we maximize our Social Security benefit and we understand what we're doing. Just saying that I'm going to draw, Peter, I didn't have this when I took mine. If I'd have known it, I would have waited 4 more years. I didn't need the money, but I thought, well, I'm full retirement age, I'm supposed to take it. Those are the things that now that we have the programs and the software that we put into place, that we can show people what they're doing and why we need to wait or why we need to not do it.
It's what you don't know. Sometimes they can hurt, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Quick question number 2 under the investment planning category. John, why do I need a separate investment plan? And how do I decide how much to dedicate or if I have enough there?
Well, the thing is we're kind of looking at a bucket approach, Peter. We're going to have a safe bucket, which is going to be our cash, our savings accounts, our CDs. We're going to have a income bucket, which is going to be the money I'm going to need in retirement. And then I'm going to have an asset bucket, which is my growth bucket. So I want my growth bucket to always grow because it's going to give me the money to take care of inflation, take care of all the legislative changes, all the unknowns. And so I need that asset allocation plan, and so that I can make sure that I'm doing the best job with that money to have it grow. It's kind of like putting fertilizer and water on a plant. I want to give it the right amount of fertilizer, the right amount of water, and I want to watch it grow. And we want to do that with our growth bucket as far as our asset allocation.
All right. Under the tax planning critical area, why are Roth? What are Roth and tax management strategies? How do we save on unnecessary taxes, John, when those retirement accounts are pay me now or pay me later, tax deferred? How does a Roth help us to save, in essence?
Well, what happened, Peter, back when we went from the defined benefit plans where the companies were going to pay us for life, and we set up these self-funded 401ks that the employees are actually funding, we did it with deferred money because we thought that was what we needed. Taxes, we always said taxes will be lower in retirement. Therefore, you defer now because you're in a higher tax bracket. And when you retire, you'll take the money out in the lower tax bracket. What we found out, Peter, is that's not the case. We're the lowest tax bracket wise we've been in history. Taxes are going to have to go up. We have considerable debt in this country, and we have to pay for that debt. Not that we're trying to wipe it out, just to service the debt, we have to pay a tremendous amount of money. And so we need to create more taxes. So a Roth, I put the money in, I don't get tax credits now, but it grows tax free. And so when I pull it out, I don't have to pay taxes. And what you'll find out is in retirement, when we have these required minimum distributions on deferred accounts, we don't have that on a Roth. It comes out tax free. So I'm able to kind of manage my taxable income in retirement. Roths are a great concept. It's just that we never understood them, and we didn't think. We were led to believe that we were going to be lower taxes in retirement.
Well, if your goal with your investments is growth and you defer your taxes, well, the IRS shares that goal with you, right? They want to collect from a bigger pot down the road as well. They appreciate the growth that you've been able to achieve for them. All right, John, quick question number 4 here under the healthcare planning critical area of planning. Does planning help to address the increasing cost of healthcare without breaking the bank? Is that even possible at this point?
We can plan for it, Peter, but we don't. It's the only thing that we really can't control. Healthcare is growing faster, the cost, than any other thing. Because as we live longer, of course, we need more healthcare. We need more hospital. We need more nursing. We need all those things. And so healthcare is very hard to handle. But if we make the right decisions with Medicare, going into Medicare, and we do some things that we can do with our income so that I can have what they call a hybrid long-term care benefit, either through life insurance or through an annuity, where I can double my income for a certain period of time, or I can cash in my life insurance policy early for chronic illness. Those are the things that we try to put into place so that we can cover the cost of long-term care. Medicare is going to be pretty much what it is. But it's going to go up. So we have to plan for higher cost. Everything's going to cost more. Eventually, I believe personally that Medicare and Social Security is going to be indexed for income. The more income we make, the less they're going to give, and we're going to have to pay ourselves. We need to be ready for that, and that's what we try to do.
John, finally, under the legacy planning, can a trust help avoid probate and ensure that assets go to beneficiaries as intended?
Certainly, it can. However, there are several caveats. Not everybody needs a trust. In Florida, especially, with a will and a power of attorney and health surrogate forms, living wills, we can pass money very quickly on to the heirs without probate. Probate's not a big thing we have to worry about. The problem that I have with a lot of my clients and the people we deal with is they don't have a will. And so then we will have to probate. A trust, I believe, works best when I have a special need. I've got a loved one that I'm passing the money on to who is disabled or handicapped, and I want to make sure that they're taken care of for life. I've got someone who can't manage the money, and I don't want to give it to them all at one time. But a trust, because of the new IRA Secure Act rules, if I name the beneficiary of my IRA a trust, then they're going to pay the taxes now instead of spreading that out as I take it out either now or in 10 years. So, is it better? I don't know. There's needs. Everybody's different. And you just have to look at the person and figure out what they want.
Well, again, we are talking with John Kuykendall, founder at GulfCoast Financial Services, named Best of the Best in Financial Services 9 straight years and running by the readers of the Lake City Reporter, author of Quitting is for Winners, but Retirement is Not for Wimps, and the home there at GulfCoast Financial Services of the financially focused written retirement plan. If you'd like to get that put together for your situation, review and evaluate your current plan, investments, and if you'd like to get a copy of that book, Quitting is for Winners, but Retirement is Not for Wimps, you are welcome to give a call, be in touch, 386-755-9018, 386-755-9018, 386-755-9018, or skip the phone call, always available online, GulfCoastFinancial.net, GulfCoastFinancial.net. John, thank you for reviewing these 5 critical areas of planning and a couple of follow-up questions on each one of them. A lot goes into each one of these areas, and I know you spend a lot of time helping clients to formulate that financially focused plan to address all 5 of these?
Well, Peter, the thing is, I've lived it, I've dreamed it, I've done it. And so one of the things as I said many times, I'm old as dirt. And the reason that it helps is because I have made these decisions. I know these, and over 31 years, we have dealt with just about every situation you can imagine. And we have seen the people make the mistakes. We want to make sure that the people we deal with, the people that are listening, we give them the best advice and make sure that they can pass through retirement with the easiest and best retirement they can have.
Well, if you would like to put that plan together and hopefully be on your way to achieving yours, pick up the phone and give Gulf Coast Financial Services a call, 386-755-9018. Also, quitting is for winners, but retirement is not for wimps. The book is available there at Gulf Coast. You can stop by, pick up a copy, give a call, request one. They'll get it in your hands. Lots of ways to get that and great information there. So give a call now, 386-755-9018. Once again, John, we appreciate the time and appreciate the encouragement for all proactive savers and investors to get that plan put together.
Thank you, Peter. Great to be here. Have a good week. Hey, if you'd like a copy of our new book, Quitting is for Winners, but Retirement's Not for Wimps, I encourage you to click the link below and get your copy today. Hey, we like it when you listen to the show, but we like it better when you like, share, subscribe, or feel free to leave a comment.
Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and tune in for more financial focus by visiting GulfCoastFinancial.net. The information presented on this program is provided for informational purposes only, without warranty of accuracy, completeness, or suitability for a particular purpose. This program is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, legal, or tax advice. This information is general in nature and not specific enough to be construed as advice. You should not make any decision based on the information presented on this program without independent consultation with an appropriately licensed professional or competent advisor. Investment in securities or the market involves a potential risk for loss of principal. Trading, therefore, may not be suitable for all listeners. Annuity guarantees are based solely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing company. Withdrawals of growth from annuities may be taxable as ordinary income in the year it is taken. Individuals should review contracts for specific details of the product's features and costs. Early withdrawals may subject the owner to penalties, fees, or taxes. John Kuykendall is registered with and securities are offered through Kovac Securities, Inc., member FINRA SIPC, found online at www.kovacsecurities.com. Advisory services are offered through Gulf Coast Financial Services, Inc., a registered investment advisor in Florida. Gulf Coast Financial Services, Inc. is not affiliated with Kovac Securities, Inc. or Kovac Advisors, Inc. Past performance is not indicative of future results. All investing involves risk. Investment decisions should be based on your own goals, time horizon, and tolerance for risk. Due to various factors, including changing market conditions and/or applicable laws, the content may no longer be reflective of current opinions or positions.